Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kryptonized. My ongoing guest, Barnaby Anderson, is back to talk about baked beans. And we're not talking barbecue, are we, Barnaby?
No, it's just more of the crazy wild west of DeFi, and there's a lot of contracts out there, smart contracts. There's a lot of innovations as we keep talking about, and some of them are pushing those edges that are scammy, Ponzi, rug pullish, or maybe just flat out like not a sustainable economic model. Maybe there's actually nothing wrong with the nothing nefarious about the smart contract or the programming. It's just that it's built like a pump and dump, you know?
Okay, but we know for sure that baked beans is a pump and dump?
Let's just pull it up. How about I just so let me look how simple this is. Bakedbeans.io. Now, this one is a
It
copy.
looks like SpongeBob created a trading platform or portal, and this
Yeah,
was the
look at that.
result. But that's just
There
me.
you go. Baked beans. Now, look at that. 8% daily return. APR 2,920. Development fee. So every transaction, the developer's getting 3%. And they have this referral link. You can earn 12% by referring it. You can see why these things grow. Now, down the bottom, they've got a Telegram and a Twitter. They have these thousands, tens of thousands of people in there or whatever, thousands of people. And then they also have the BScan. Now, this is on Binance, BNB Smart Chain. So you've got the little, a bit like Etherscan, they've got their Binance Smart Chain version. If we click that, we pop open and go and actually look at the actual contract, the smart contract wallet address, which you can see here. And you can see that they've got over 28,000 BNB, which is equivalent to over $11 million. And that's not a small amount of money for a smart contract. In fact, it's one of the biggest smart contracts, one of the biggest, over on Binance Smart Chain. There are some other bigger ones, but this is what we want to go and look at. We want to look at the analytics tab. How many times do you pop over, Mark, and look at the analytics tab on Etherscan or Binance Smart Chain? How often do you do
Not very often. I have people like you that do it for me.
that? So I didn't think so. So most of us are going over there and we might have a look at the transactions or maybe the internal transactions, even check out the contract code. They've even got some fancy, they've got some ASCII text in there. This is the contract. You can read the contract. You can pull up all these functions in there. That's how these things work. And if you're the contract owner, the creator, you can write functions, buy eggs, hatch eggs. I don't know why this baked beans contract has got like eggs hatching and seeding the market and
They're sticking with a theme, which is something to do with
food.
food. Yeah.
I think it could be going back to green eggs and ham or something. Anyway, the point is that
Well, let's just hope it's not spam.
exactly, spam. Now look at this. This is the analytics that we wanted to have a look at under the analytics tab. And since the contract started, so look, it's been running since the start of November. So November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months. And can you even see any transactions at all, basically, until the start of February? So that means that for the first 3 months, pretty much, it had nothing. And then look at how it just ramped up. And the black lines is the Binance, the money coming in. It's the BNB coming in.
So what do you equate that to? Do we know what happened there?
Well, they've got this model in the contract where they ask the community to recompound. So you keep compounding, and that's what this rebake means, 6 out of 7 days. And on the seventh day, you eat your beans, and that means you withdraw. So you compound it, you keep it in. One day a week, you do a withdrawal.
You know what happens when you eat beans, though.
Ha, exactly, exactly.
So let's see how this story ends, but keep going.
So you can see it ramping up, but you can see how at this date over here, which was the 19th of April, just about 1 week ago, it switched. It switched from being mostly all the money coming in to suddenly, after that date, more money coming out. And actually specifically on the 22nd was of April. Of this, there'd be money for 6 months, was the first day, 5 days ago. But you could see how already after this peak of the money coming in, and so how does it work? Basically, it's a redistribution. You put funds in, and every week people are pulling money out. And if it was to be the case with the same amount of money coming in, but how long can you sustain that 8% return daily? But you were never getting it every day. Let's be clear. You were getting that once a week. So once a week on a compounding of 8%, which if you got in early, as in like any time from before February or even start of February, anytime you would have made a mozza. So yeah, I didn't know about this, and this is looking obviously like it's on the downtrend, and it's very sketchy in terms of it's not how it's coded, but in terms of how it's actual economics, the tokenomics. Now, it's not actually even the first one. So if we go have a look at this website here, moonark.app, you can see that basically this is ranking and listing across different chains. You can come over here and compare these miners. That's what they call them, these mining contracts.
Let me just stop you right there because I'm still a little confused, and I bet you our audience is. How are you categorizing baked beans in miners and farmers? What type of cryptocurrency are they?
They're just calling themselves that. You can call yourself anything you want in crypto.
No, but is there a category? Is it DeFi? Is it?
It's some version. It's DeFi because it's running on a smart contract. So decentralized finance. Okay. So now it's a good question. Is this DeFi? Is it decentralized? Well, according to the community and the developers, yes, it's actually decentralized, which means that there's no ability apparently in this contract for there to be a rug pull, for the developers to actually even have any control over it as such. So a real decentralized platform is something where the developers made it, it's decentralized, it runs independently, nobody can change it, nobody can edit it, it's been audited, there's nothing nefarious about it, and therefore it functions purely mathematically. Now that's an ideal. That's fantastic. And obviously there are a bunch of platforms that have used that, and many even more that have not. Now there are some crypto projects and platforms that are calling themselves DeFi, but they're not really, because they're still centralized. They're still under centralized control. They're not running purely off a smart contract, and they are not nefarious. So there are some that are not decentralized, call themselves DeFi, but they're not really. But they're actually doing a good job of rewarding participants with integrity. And then there are others that are claiming to be DeFi. They are running off a smart contract, but they are nefarious, and the developers steal the money. And then there are those who are claiming to be DeFi. They are decentralized. There's nobody actually overseeing the smart contract. It's running independently. It's just pure code and mathematics. And that would be real DeFi. So this actually does potentially fall into that, because it's it's been true to the mathematical formula that is inside the contract. It's been operating with integrity. It's just that it's a flawed model.
Yeah, but what do you think is going on now? We're seeing the lines cross there around April 22nd. So what's happening? Somebody was putting a lot of money in, pumping it up, and now they're
No, it's just
slowly
actually the mathematics. If you got in early and you were compounding as per the instructions of getting a compound 8% every day, and then you pull it out once a week, then you do that for some weeks or a couple of months, you're going to have a huge amount that you're pulling out once a week. If you'd put $1,000 in there 3 months ago, you'd be pulling out potentially over $10,000 a week.
Yeah.
And if everybody starts doing that, how long can it be maintained? Do you know?
Right. Good point.
So
very good.
That's the problem with it, is it's actually like it's not sustainable.
Let me just comment here. I mean, this is why they call it pyramid schemes. Now, I'm not saying there was anything nefarious on purpose done, but this actually looks like a pyramid, and so does baked beans, when you look at these charts. So let's wrap this stuff up. I'm glad you showed all those things. Folks, I would steer clear of this unless you have, I would just steer clear of it. I mean, if you want to take a big risk and hope to get on the upswing, and then potentially it goes down, which it looks like all of them are, then I would avoid it like the plague until somebody figures out a phase 2 for these things. I don't think they figured that out, and it's just going to fade off into the sunset because there's really nothing behind it.
Because
what's your opinion?
Well, we're seeing cycles, so it's an indicator that they call this like a degenerate play, where all the the apes ape in, but they ape in too late. Who's the one that benefits every time from these the developer.
The developer.
They make 3%.
Well, they have to sell. They have to sell, right? But they're probably the ones selling on the way down.
Because this one pays out. These ones pay out in Binance, so that there's no token, there's no native token. All that's going into them is the Binance. So the developer's making 3%. They're winning regardless every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they don't own tokens. They're just taking a fee.
Yeah.
A transaction fee.
They're just taking transaction fee, and they're winning. And the people who get in early, but the thing is, because it's so risky, like, I mean, there's like 100 other copycats that never got anywhere. For some reason, for some odd reason, out of that, cesspool of them, Baked Beans rose to the top, but it was pretty kind of random. Like, it'd be hard to actually be able to pick that.
I doubt it's random after 6 months. I'm guessing they got a bunch of influencers involved to put some money in and just said, hey, if you do this is what's going to happen, and it's going to go back down, so you got to get out 3 weeks later or else you're going to lose your money. So I'm guessing that's what happened. I don't know. But this seems to be a pattern and one, if you're watching this, you should avoid.
Well said. So basically, keep an eye out. So even though there's these shiny objects, I'd be avoiding this one. There we go.
Well, folks, you've heard it here first. Avoid baked beans. Look at the other ones. I'd probably avoid them too. If you want more content like this, where we review these altcoins and projects, especially with my friend Barnaby here, subscribe, hit that bell. I think that gives you every one of these videos so you hear it first. And, of course, promote this where you can. This is important stuff for people in the community to hear. We don't like bad apples. We want to focus on the ones that are doing well and adding value to the community. So with that, Barnaby, thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Mark. See you next time.
Hey, folks. My name is Mark Fidelman. I am the host of Kryptonized, and I have a special tip for you today. It's Tetraguard. You can find it at tetraguard.io. This is the first decentralized ETF consists of Bitcoin, PaxG, and Ethereum. I recommend this. If you just want to get into crypto the easy way and have some solid crypto tokens that are in this particular ETF, then Tetraguard is the way to go. Check it out.